Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are doing great and I hope life is treating you well. Once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. I want to begin the show by thanking all of those that have been watching my videos. I want to thank you. I want to say thanks to those who also have subscribed to my channel. I love you and I hope that you are learning from whatever I'm doing on this show. Once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. On this channel, we get to talk about those things that people know, that people have thought about, but don't often have the time to discuss. These are the things we talk about on this channel. So once again, I want to welcome you. Tonight, I'm going to be paying tribute to our ancestors. But this time, I'm not going to be calling names. I'm just going to cast a wider net. So I'm going to be looking at people who have served our generation, who have done some incredible things. I want to begin this by saying these things. If you look at Jesus, I have so much reverence for Jesus because he taught us how to show reverence to our ancestors. There's a story in the book where he went on the mountain to pray. He took along with him, I think, 2 of his disciples. And then while they were on the mountain, the disciples fell asleep. And then, according to the book, according to the Bible, there were 2 people that descended from wherever, who knows, but they came, they were commuting, they were talking to Jesus. And then suddenly Peter awoke and he saw the 2 people. According to the book, the Bible, it states that those 2 individuals were Elijah and Moses. So even Jesus taught us to show reverence to our ancestors. According to the book and according to the Bible, he was actually talking to his ancestors. And that would be Elijah, Prophet Elijah, and Moses. Moses was also a prophet too. So what I'm doing here, I'm only just doing exactly what Jesus himself did. I'm calling on and I'm honoring the ancestor, which is what we ought to do. We black people ought to honor our ancestors. We ought to pray to them too. If you know them, like when we talk about our ancestors, we're talking about people who have lived on this planet, on this earth. People who have done incredible things while they were here. Some of them were healers. Some of them were lawyers. Some of them were doctors. Some of them were teachers. Some of them were pastors. Some of them were religious teacher leaders in the community. Some were political leaders. Some were, they did incredible things while they were here. Those, my friend, will be your ancestors. So calling them or reaching out to them in times of need is not a problem. And I don't think it's bad to do so. There are people that are going to say it's not good to honor your ancestors because it's ancestors worship. I don't think so. Maybe they probably don't know the Bible. When people say the God of Moses, the God of Elijah, the God of this, the God of that, the God of that one, they're basically telling you whoever that person was worshiping while they were here is the God that they are reaching out. So I say the God of my mother, Miss Titi, I can say the God of Titi. Wherever that God she was worshiping is the same God I'm reaching out to. So if I say I reach out to my mother, there's nothing wrong with it. So I don't want you to feel like you're doing something wrong because you're reaching out to the ancestors. There's nothing wrong with that, especially black people. I'm not saying African American because black people, all of us are the same, whether you're in this country or you're in Africa or you're in South America, North America, Australia, Alaska, Europe, wherever you find yourself as an African or black person, we all have shared the same thing, the same situation. We all share almost the same history. but you have to know it to understand what I'm saying. So reaching out to your ancestor, I don't think it's a bad thing. So tonight I'm going to talk about all those people that walk this earth. I was calling names before, but I think I was doing a great dishonor to our ancestors. So I'm gonna talk about historical facts, historical situation. So all of those ancestors that was transported to the United States during the transatlantic slave trade, I want to honor you. For those one that could not bear the shame and the disgrace and the humiliation, that threw themselves overboard, that said to themselves, I'd rather drown than to be a slave. I honor you. Wherever your soul is today, may you always intercede on our behalf. I know your death was not a best way for any human being to die, but you had to do that to maintain your pride and your prestige as a human being. So I honor you, great ancestors. For those ancestors that brace the tide, that brace the water, that brace all the humiliation, all the pains and suffering, and made it to this country and the rest of North America, South America, and the Caribbean. I want to honor you because of what you've done, lay the foundation for what we are today. I want to honor you, great ancestors. For all of those ancestors that travel across Africa into Europe and populated Europe and came out with a new race of people, I want to also honor you, great ancestor, for migrating out of Africa and then creating a new race of people, going into Asia, going into Europe, going into Southeast Asia, going into India, going into what is called the Middle East today. I want to honor you, great ancestors, and creating a whole new race of people in all of those places. I want to honor you, great ancestors, for everything that you went through, for all the suffering, all the humiliation, all the pains, all the anguish, everything that you endure. I want to honor you. I want to honor you because of what you've done and because of all the things, all the pains and all the suffering that you went through. We're actually walking on your backs. You pay the price for us to be where we are today. Without your suffering, without the pain that you went through, we wouldn't have been where we are today. I want to honor all of those ancestors that had to go through the first Holocaust in Angola, all of the black Angolians that were put into concentration camps in Nazis in Angola, in German Angola. I want to honor you for all the death, all of our ancestors that were murdered in Angola, in I think it was Angola, during the German Nazis Holocaust in Africa. I want to honor you. I want to honor all those ancestors that were massacred, that were killed in South Africa. I want to honor you. And I know that your death set the stage for us today, for everything that we're enduring today. I want to honor my ancestors from the great country of Sierra Leone that fought the British, especially Barbure and the rest of the chiefdom in Mamiyoko, and all those people that fought the British because they felt that they were taxing them for something that they had nothing to do with, the hot tax they were putting on them so that they pay for the war against the French. I want to honor you, great ancestor, for fighting back for what you thought was wrong against your people. I want to honor all of you. I want to honor all of those ancestors that went to Australia. They call them the aborigines. I want to honor you for everything that you've done for our people and for setting the stage for what we are to and where we are today. I want to honor you. I want to thank you for all of that, because you really don't get the honor that you need. So now, whenever I do a video like this, I'm going to make sure that I'm just putting everybody in the same, in the same class, because it's hard to really give an account of all the people that actually died and those that came over and those that made it at the end of the tunnel. So I want to honor all of you. So some of you are unsung. Some of you will never know what you went through and all the things that you went through. I want to honor especially Demavizi. A lot of people don't talk of Demavizi, but without Demavizi, there are a lot of things that change after the uprising of Demavizi in this country. So I want to honor your great ancestor. I want to honor all those people that came out during the civil rights movement in this country. I want to honor you. I want to honor all those that died in Soweto, in South Africa, during the uprising in South Africa, during apartheid. I want to honor all of you for setting the stage again. Without your work, all of us are walking on your backs. Without your work, we won't be where we are today. I want to honor all those freedom fighters in Africa during the dark days, the dark era in the history of Africa that stood up and fight to liberate the continent. I think it was a physical liberation that you did. Now we need to do the mental. The mental liberation is what we need now. And that one is where the war is. It's a battle that I think can be won, but you have to be strategic. So I want to honor all of you that lay your life down, because you believe that whatever you were doing will change the next generation. So I want to honor all of you ancestors for doing what you did to lead us to where we are today. There's more things to do. There's more fight to be fought, to be won. But we know you set the stage for what we are doing today. I want to honor all those ancestors in the Caribbean, places like Jamaica, Puerto Rico, part of the Caribbean, Trinidad, Barbados, the Bahamas, all of the ancestors in those places. I want to honor you, great ancestors, for laying the stage, for sending your sons and daughters into Africa to serve as missionaries, to educate the ones that you've left back. I want to honor you. There are a great many of you that left the Caribbean to help in Africa to make it what it is today. Your work has yielded great many fruits. I want to honor you, great ancestor, for what you've done. And I know that you're still with us today. And I think if we can call back on you, we can reach out to you in a meaningful way, as we've done in traditional Africa way before the advent of religion. That would be Christianity and Islam. We honor our ancestors, and because we did that, they made us prosperous. They bless us with children. They bless us with good harvest. They bless us with rain where there is famine. It was just so many great things that the ancestors taught our people how to do. Before the European knew how to extract oil from anything, the Africans had done that. If you hear of palm oil, the Africans are notorious for that. They were able to extract oil from palm nut, and today we know it as palm oil. That's incredible. So the Africans had done great many things, and of all the work they've done, there's little has been said about them. And that's why on the Common Sense, I make it my duty to always honor our ancestors, to always call on them, just as how Jesus did. If you don't know this, you need to reread the scripture. You need to go back and see what Jesus did. This is the reason why I always give reverence to Jesus, because he taught us there are a lot of things that he did that were going against the norm. Society has set up a norm, and only people who are radical can change it, and Jesus was radical. You know, there are a lot of sayings that he says in the scripture that when you think about them now, that you can say, you know, this man was revolutionary. He was saying he was way ahead of his time. For example, I said it in previous video. When you tell someone their body is the temple of the Most High, imagine back in his time, everybody knew the place they had to go if they wanted to encounter the Most High, God. For the sake of my video, they had to go to the temple. So imagine Jesus telling people that you don't need to go to the temple now. Say, you see your body? Your body is the temple of the Most High. So imagine how that would upset the people that was in charge of the temple. Just as how it is today. If someone tells people, hey, don't go to church, your body is the temple of the Most High. Imagine what that would do to the economics of the church. So that's why Jesus was hated, because he was revolutionizing things. He was telling them things that they were just common sense. So that's what we do here. We have to reach out to our ancestors. We have to honor them. We have to pray to them. There's nothing wrong with praying to your ancestors. Every year, why do they have Memorial Day in this country? They honor the dead. They have Memorial Day. They honor those who have given their life. Why do they have to do that? The people of this country are not stupid. They know that those people believe in something and they serve that purpose. It's the same thing that your ancestor did. Your ancestor did something that was incredible. So when they die, call on them. Call on them. I'm talking to Africans. We're the only ones that don't do it, except traditionalists. I'm from that background. So I'm from like the Muslim and the Christian and the traditionalist. So I'm everywhere. I'm from everywhere. But I believe in our ancestors, you know, because they were here. They live on this planet and they did incredible things. They served the community. They were upright individuals. They did great many things. There's nothing wrong with honoring them. So if you're out there, if you want to understand the mysteries of life, if you want to be successful in everything you do, always honor your ancestors. Again, I'm talking to African, I'm talking about Black people. Don't forget, when you honor Jesus, you're honoring an ancestor of another people. Jesus was a Jew, so you're honoring their ancestors. Maybe they may not see him as that, but it's their ancestors. Why don't you honor your ancestor? Honor your ancestor. And when you do that, you will see what happened to you. You will lack nothing. I'm telling you. Your way is going to open. You're going to understand things that you didn't understand before. You try and see. If you don't believe me, just try and see. Because our people done that before. They honor their own ancestors. And their ancestors show them the way. They're real, and the reason why I think they're real is because they live in the spirit world. And because they live in the spirit world, and because the Creator is also a spirit, that's the reason why they are closer to the Creator than you are. So whenever you call on them, you ask of anything through them, that thing will be granted to you. Just try it. You will lack nothing. You will worry about anything. Whenever things get difficult for you and you call on them, and that problem will be solved. It's better to honor them, pray to them, than to pray to something you don't know or something you don't understand. Jesus was a great man. So all those people that believe in him, that know him, when they pray to him, he answered them. Because you have to believe. If you don't believe in something and you pray to it, it's not going to answer you. You have to believe in that thing. And then when you pray to that thing, your answers will be granted. So I just decided to do this video. As always, I always say this: the greatest thing that can ever happen to anyone, it's not the day you were born, not the day you had your first car, the day you had your first child or graduated from high school or college. The greatest thing that can ever happen to anyone is the day you discover yourself. Because from that day on, everything, my friend, absolutely everything, will start to make sense to you. Again, I want to thank everyone that watched my videos. I want to thank everyone that have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you. And my thing is, I hope you're learning. Because every time I come on here, I do this to teach you something, to help you understand. Do not turn your back at your ancestors. They, my friend, have set the page for you. They have set the stage for you. You are constantly walking on their backs. They paid the price for you. They gave their lives for you to be where you are. They were the sacrificial lamb for you to be where you are. So whatever you do, just know you're walking on their backs. And they were willing to do everything to get you to where you are today. So don't ever sit and complain. Whenever things get harder for you, difficult for you, call on them, reach out to them. Reach out to them. Everybody does it. Everybody that I know. Every race of people do it. The Chinese do it. The Indians do it. The Japanese do it. Europeans do it. White people do it. Only you. Do it. Reach out to them and you will see. I don't care where you are. Just reach out to your ancestors. It's not devil worship like they want you to believe. It's not. Because every one of those people, Peter, Moses, Paul, Joshua, Abraham, Isaac, all these people, Paul, these are ancestors. They walk on here. Anytime you call on your ancestors, you know what you're doing? You are giving them longevity. You are making them immortal. Whenever you call on them, they will never die. Like for instance, Michael Jackson, Prince, W. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, Joe Jackson, Muhammad Ali. You know, these are ancestors. Call on them. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Patrice Munuba, Robert Mugabe, Thomas Sankara, Sekou Touré, Kwame Touré, you know, Kwame Nkrumah, all these people, call on them. Don't be afraid. The great Shaka Zulu, call on them. You know, call on them because they, my friend, has done incredible things on their backs. These were giants. These were giants. While they were here, they believe in something. I can call on my grandma. She was an incredible woman. She was a medicine woman. She did a lot of good things. She was a chief. She was a medicine woman. She was very talented. She spoke many languages. So was my mother too. They touched many lives. So always reach out to these people. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed of them. It's not devil worship. It's not voodoo. Even those people that talk about voodoo, they don't know nothing about voodoo. The ones that talk about it, they don't know nothing about it. Why do you hate what set the stage for you? Talking to black people. It's nothing wrong. Whoever told you that is a lie. You hear them talking about voodoo, voodoo, voodoo. They don't know nothing about voodoo. I'm an African. I know what voodoo is. There's a difference. So that those people that talk about voodoo, I wish I can have one-on-one talk with them, telling you don't know nothing about that stuff. Shut up. That's something when the European came to Africa, they saw what we're doing. They saw what our ancestors were doing. They saw that in order for them to deal with the Africans, they'll have to get rid of that. That's ancient power given to us by our ancestors before our generation. It was given to them to protect them and their village from people who were trying to destroy them. My country, where I'm from, is notorious for stuff we use on the British when they try to tax the people, unnecessary tax. A warrior arose from Sierra Leone. His name was Babure, and he used the traditional voodoo to fight the British. They couldn't defeat him. They started to burn down all the villages, kill the people. That's when they went to Jamaica and they brought the Maroons to help them fight. So they're using another black man against another black man. I mean the British. So voodoo, you don't know anything about voodoo. That's ancient. It's for us to protect us against invaders. You know, that's what voodoo is meant for. It's a protection. It don't work on you if you're innocent. It don't work on people who didn't do you anything. It only works on people who try to hurt you. So if you don't know about voodoo, start speaking about it. That stuff our ancestors used. And when they got on those ships, that was the transatlantic slave trade, when they got on those boats, when they got on those ships called Jesus, they came with it because it's passed down from generation to generation, a form of protection. So if you don't know, shut your mouth. That's our protection against people who are coming to invade our land and take away our people and use them as slaves, because some books said they could do that. I wonder why they took it out of the book. It used to be in the Bible. Slavery, the justification for slavery, used to be in there. Why didn't they leave it in there? They took it out because they knew that's what they were using. So if you're out there, honor your ancestors. Don't be ashamed of your ancestors. Don't be ashamed of what they've done. Whatever they said they've done is a lie. They use that to spread their religion, and they will stop at nothing to destroy the African spirituality. That's our spirituality. We are in sync with the spirit. We are in sync with the spirit world. All black people have soul. When you hear soul, that's what it means. We can transcend, we can transform, we can transfigure if we want into the spirit world and be powerful. All humans have that ability. You just need to know how to channel it. We, my friend, are powerful. But in order for us to know it, we have to clear the mind. That's what Jesus was telling you. He said, your body is the temple of God. He said, you are the light of the world. Imagine that. You are the light of the world. Your body is the temple of the Most High. If your body is a temple of the Most High, that means you don't need no building because it's right in you. So anyway, I'm doing this video to kind of throw light on honoring. I'm not saying worship them. I'm saying you should honor. So you can call it worship, you can call it whatever. I'm saying honor your ancestors. And you will see what happened. Have a blessed day. Thank you.